Welcome back to Sports Tonight on Channels Television. We're having fun talking sports right here at our sports center in Lagos, Nigeria. You can be part of the fun. Yes, you can. Let's do this together. You can talk to us on Twitter, channels_sports, Facebook, channels Facebook. We got off the show on an inspirational note. George Weah has been declared winner of the Liberia elections. And Alfred was like, look, any way you want to look at this is a motivational story for every sports follower in the world to look at and say to themselves that impossible is nothing. And when you have dreams, if you walk through them, dreams do come true. And then we got into grassroots football development. We're talking about the 4th edition of the Seyi Akiwumi Charity Cup mini tournament. And what does it do? The objective is to empower young talent. The objective is to discover young talent. And also, Seyi Akiwumi normally is to honor his birthday, but today we saw young talents, Alfred, play good football. It's not just the guys, there was also the women. And if you look at the way these guys score goals and the bonding, the team spirit, it just gives you hope for football in Nigeria.
At this age, what you don't play football with tactics. You don't really depend on the tactics. You just go out there and express yourself. You play football without let. That is the kind of football, and that is where you develop the talent, the innate talent, natural goal scorers. You learn these things over years. What you've been doing week in, week out, on stages like this is what you pick up the little nuggets that you developing in this game. It's nice to see. Really exciting time for the kids.
Yeah.
Come out, everybody.
And at this stage, the passion is boiling. They want to express it.
At this stage, they just want to play football.
That's right.
Nobody is thinking of anything apart from playing football. And one thing that this program does, and I really appreciate, is that it gives equal opportunity for both male players and female players. You see teams where they have a mix of both sexes, and it's always good. And so, hopefully, one day when the success story of this competition begins to come out, where kids 10 years down the line, at 12, 13, I played in the Seyi Akiwumi charity event.
I like what you said before we went on the break, that it's important for us to do programs like this so that these kids can have details, And just imagine if they come out of a good school background where sports is part of the curriculum, and they play good football from the school. They play at the Channels International Kids Cup, keep the details down, go to Seyi Akiwumi Charity Cup, keep the details down, go to another competition. By the time this kid is 15, he has a whole lot of experience already.
Beyond having the experience, you have records of where they're coming from.
That's right.
This issue of players coming out, how come, I stop to wonder, how come age group competition players in the country hardly celebrate their school? They are supposed to be in school anyway. Hardly celebrate their schools. Oh, he went to Methodist Boys School, or he went to maybe college. These are his classmates. These are his friends. He starts from there. Because the moment you don't keep records of the movement of these players, we lose it. We still go back to the same problem of having, this age issue. But I think the NFF, with the kind of things they've done, have been able to, just try to fix all of this. You can't. Rome was not built in a day. You don't expect everything to. But there is a need for education. Get involved in education and sports, so that by the time you marry together, it becomes easier to track.
That's right. Very easy. And that's what the president of the Nigeria Football Federation, Amaju Pinnick, said yesterday when he was here, talking about the under-15 program, that they're genuinely under-15, and at that stage is all about developing young talent. Seyi Akiwumi is the initiator of the Seyi Akiwumi Charity Cup mini tournament. Let's listen to him. What's the objective? Has it been met? What's the way forward? Let's listen to him right back.
Oh, certainly. We're heading in the right direction. We're very, very happy. We thought it would take us 5 years, actually, to get where we got to last year. So we're ahead of time, and I'm so grateful that people are supporting the dream. And the kids are extremely happy. Everybody looks forward to it every December now, and it's what we should do. I'm very happy. We're meeting the objective, certainly. Our children have played quite a bit already today, and if you look across there where the kids are, you see that surprisingly about half of them, or even more, are female. It wasn't always like that, but this year we made sure that we got the girls to come even more. Well, all the kids most of them are registered with us in one way or another. And what we try and do is this tournament is not essentially to look for football talent. Most of them we already know. But we found one or two. But essentially it's to get sponsorship for education. And that's what we're doing. So we have some of them who are on the queue already. And then, you know, when we get enough money, we see how many we can take. And hopefully we then sponsor their kids, their education. But what has happened in the past 2 years in particular has been that some of the kids who were seen here playing, individuals have taken them on and said, look, you don't want to sponsor that child. And it's been wonderful.
And that's just beautiful. And that's a challenge to you and I. They have a slogan that says, support a child. It says, look, we're not calling them together to discover talent. Alfred, he says, we are bringing them out so that you can identify 1 or 2 or 3, and then you sponsor that child, not to play football, to go to school, to have education.
And when you have education and mix it with football, it becomes a perfect mix. Because at the end of the day, it is how well have you been able to impact the life of this young child. And this is just a fantastic platform for these kids to really come out there. And like you said, the support have been coming in. And we expect that courses like this should be supported. Because at the end of the day, what is the story of this young boy who has all of the talents but didn't go to school, is on the streets, is wasted. He's wasted on all of us. We never can tell. That person might just turn out to be the next George Opongwe. So we just have to continually support programs like this. Yeah, continually support programs like this. So that,
and you just mentioned George Webb. There was a time when he started, you know, nursing the ambition to become president. They say you're not educated.
He only plays football.
They say you're just a footballer, street footballer. And he went to school. And then now came out and said, okay, now I'm educated. And I've brought glory to this country, playing football. So what's next? So I agree with Sheyi Akinwumi and what you've just said. It's all about football and education. On an holistic view, sports and education. And that's what you see. You just someone says it's not about Serena Williams starting early. It's about us starting early and walking through the foundation, going to school, you know, being part of tennis, growing up with it, and then came out to be a total person. We're still talking about her years after.
Now, crossing over two decades,
Wow.
I'm still talking about her. You know, the thing, like in other climes, there are sports that you just can't do without going to school. I mean, the earlier we start doing that, I think the better for all of us. Because at the end of the day, ultimately, you have to turn out people who are dedicated to the sport, people who learned the sport from the very foundation, people who went to school to be able to express themselves.
That's right.
Of course, I mean, you know what education does for you. It not only open doors, but open your minds, you know, to learning new things and new cultures. And so that's just the perfect mix. And we hope that this event or this charity will be supported.
That's right.
And much later, we'll begin to hear the success stories.